Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Karthik AP, first year MD scholar in Department of Kaumara Pritya at All India Institute of Ayurveda, New Delhi. I'm very happy to be presenting a video before Sri Dhanvantari Academy, sort of having a few words on the do's and don'ts in the approaching phase of All India Ayush PG entrance test. So I thought that I shall speak in three major headings. One is what to learn, second is how to learn, and the third is other factors like health. The first thing is what to learn. So everyone has different backups of their UG portions, like some may be strong at their first year basics, some may be strong in their final year topics. So it is variable from person to person, but the topics in their priority basis is that first comes the first year basics, that is Sutrasthanas and Sharirasthanas of basically Brihatrayis. Next comes the final year topics, that is Kaya Chikitsa, Shalya, Shalakya, Panchakarma, etc. Then comes Kaumara Pritya, Prasuti Tantra and other third year topics. Finally comes the second year topics like Rasa Shastra and Agata Tantra. Actually, Agata Tantra was the second year topic in our times. So the reason why the Sutrasthana and Sharirasthana are considered very important is that they are frequently asked as independent subjects as well as parts of other subjects also. For example, in Kaumara Pritya we can see questions from Charakam Shariram, and in Shalya Tantra we can see portions from Sushruta Samhita Sutrasthana also. So Samhitas, there are high probabilities that Samhitas come into the questions. And the Rasa Shastra and modern topics shall be considered last, because there are large portions to be covered, so that they will engulf a large amount of your time. But the questions, the chances of them being asked is very less, and the answerability of these questions is also always variable. So I always recommend that Rasa Shastra, modern topics, Agata Tantra be considered towards the last. And attempt maximum number of question papers, because they give an idea of what type of questions can be asked. And it is very important that while attempting these question papers, we develop a habit of analyzing the trends of question papers of the past years. For example, over the past 3 years, it is evidently seen that the relevance of clinically insignificant numericals have come down. For example, how many times has Yashti Madhu been mentioned in the Dashimanis? How many Shakhagata Marmas are mentioned by Sushruta? So these questions are less asked now. And analyzing the areas from which questions have been asked, it can be noticed that Kashyapa Samhita and Bhaishya Ratnavali has been asked in larger numbers, and the previous year Anupana was given a large importance. So these trends can be analyzed, and you can set your pattern of learning according to that. If you are more good at analyzing, you can also decipher more minute trends and nuances of each question papers. Then coming to the area of how to learn, every individual is unique in terms of his capabilities. So some people might be convenient with pictorial learning. So I had a friend who used to learn things in form of pictures. Whatever he learned, be it numericals, be it data, he used to make pictures about them, and he used to memorize it in that form. For me, the auditory stimulus was the most convenient input for learning. So I used to record my notes in the form of audio in my own voice, so that I could listen to it whenever I was free. So that proved to be a very effective method. Some people have the habit of making short notes. It is a very effective method, because you don't get enough time to go through the detailed notes at the end of the preparatory phase. So you can glance through these short notes, which contain our weak points most importantly, and very occasionally you can also go through the detailed notes. And a combined study is also a very good method, provided that the people who participate in the study are of equal or similar wavelength and potential. So because combined study can make study more fun, more enjoyable, so that things are learned without much of strain. And coming to associated factors like health, health has two components, of course. One is physical health and the other is mental health. Physical health has to be very carefully observed because in this phase you have to stay free from diseases. Of course, I don't have to explain it because we are all are Ayurvedic students. But a few facts to be noticed is that don't consume too much of heavy foods like oily foods that are difficult to digest, because our energy gets converted or diverted to digestion, and our body and mind gets exhausted very fast. So consume fiber rich and light food, consume enough of water, and resort to foods that keep our intellect more alert. For example, methi rasayanas can be given a try. And also see to it that the food or the medicines or the dietary supplements you consume do not develop other complications. For example, when you consume protein rich foods like nuts, see to it that you drink enough of water or milk so that you don't develop complications like constipation, dysuria, etc. Coming to the aspect of mental health, it is observed that many people who perform very well during their model exams, mock tests, revision exams, they fail to perform in the entrance because they build up too much of pressure, too much of expectations, and they fail to perform during the final exams. The key point is that you stay cool, take enough of breaks, have fun in between, watch movies, call your friends, crack some jokes, so that you don't get too heated up. So these all are the points I had to emphasize on. Stay home, stay safe in these lockdown days, and prepare very well for the exams. Hoping every one of you crack the exams, and also wishing everyone bright future. Thank you. Have a good day.